Hey guys, welcome to On the Couch, the show that brings you the best of entertainment, information, and the best thing you can ever think of. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited and thrilled to be here today because I'm not alone. I have with me a very beautiful, smart, intelligent woman. I need to say woman of God, but anyway, she is a marketer by profession. She is a lover of Christ. We can't forget that. And also importantly, she is your financial friend. Please help me welcome Faith Rutendo Chimba. I said it right, finally.
Yes, you did.
Welcome back to my channel.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Finally, you're here.
Yes, finally.
All right, so today's conversation, guys, I just decided to talk about this because I feel it is very cardinal, like very important for people to have this set in their lives. I want to say relationship because that's what we're talking about, but also as an individual, you need to have this set up by your side. So today we're going to be talking about money. I mean, nobody can do life without money.
Let's talk about everything.
Even if people talk about money is the root of all evil, we live by money every single time. And so now today, I wanted us to have this conversation about money because I believe money is a broad topic and we cannot dissect it. Like we cannot dissect everything right now, but I just decided for us to focus on this part because it's very essential. So I wanted us to talk about the first thing is, why is it important for people to budget, first of all?
Oh, okay, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Well, budgeting is very important so that people don't end up spending their money on unnecessary things.
Okay.
Like, let's just break it down into, the economy is, it's economy.
It's a big,
it's a bit. So instead of you just buying things that you don't need, when you have money, you can easily spend money on things that you don't need.
Yeah.
So budgeting allows you to write down things that you need, your bills, your insurance, these things that are necessary for people. So when you budget, you know where when your money comes, you know where it's going.
Yeah.
So it's not just your money is working for you. You see, your money is going somewhere, it's going to work for you. So instead of you just spending money, you know what your money is going to be doing for you. Okay. So that's why budgeting is important for people.
All right. So coming now to my question, right? In relationship, whether dating or you are married, we always find ourselves in a situation where one of you could be an impulse buyer and one of you is a saver. So how do you come up to a place where you are able to put your money right? Like you're able to have, I don't know how can I put it, have discipline. I don't know if I could put it discipline. So you're an impulse buyer and your partner is a saver. So how are you able to handle that in a relationship?
Firstly, I think we should be able, I say we, so I like to make it more realistic as, I think a couple should be able to talk about these things. So if you see that one is an impulse buyer and the other one is a saver, the saver should be able to explain, the necessity. If one of you is financially literate, you're able to explain, to say, okay, this is what we are supposed to do with our money. And then we'll go back to opening accounts, for example. So if you have, I'm giving an example of a married couple. Yeah. Right. So if you are together, I think it's important for you to have an account together. Hold on.
I was about to say, are you insinuating that we have a joint account?
Oh, no. People work differently, but I think have an account together. One specific account that is meant for bills, necessities.
That's for married people.
That's for married people. Bills, necessities. You put that money in one account, then have your individual account. So if that person is going to spend their money, it's the 1st of January, and you decide you want to blow all your money, at least the money that they're using is from their personal account, and not from the joint account. Okay. So yes, that's one of the ways that people can handle. But also, it's important for the person who's financially literate to sit down and talk to a person who's not, and explain to them some of the benefits of budgeting and planning for the things that they're planning on buying. Okay.
Yes. So what are you going to tell those people who are like dating, right? They're not yet married. So is it necessary to have a joint account? Like for future planning, to say we're going to get married, right? So we have a wedding coming up, or we've decided to do a kitchen party or whatever with your union. So is it okay to have a joint account where you guys just save up for the marriage and everything?
Yes, I think those who have reached that stage, so we're talking about people who are engaged, that's proper.
Okay.
But if you're just simply boyfriend and girlfriend, no. No.
You might just run away with them and like, what dad?
Yes, no, because there's so many uncertainties that happen in life. So the best thing that you can do is if you're dating, try to teach each other the best ways you can handle your finances. So you can go about teaching each other like financial classes. You take financial classes so that both of you are both financially literate. Okay.
But Faith, you're mentioning about having to learn about financial literacy and everything, but then we have people that have zero idea of what it is. What is financial literacy? And let's talk about those people that don't earn as much. Like probably somebody's just working in the shop and everything, and they earn small amount of money, and even the partner that they're dating is earning small amount of money. So how does financial literacy come in? Like, hey, I just earned 500 kwacha, and 1,000. Is there a need for me to have financial literacy? Like, I can just count 1, 2, 3 for this and that, and what's the point? I know it's very hard for people to budget, especially when you know that you don't earn as much. Yeah. But this is one thing that I always tell people: if you can't budget when you have small amounts, you won't be able to budget when you've got big amounts, because the more money you make, the more temptations you have. You see, because now you've got enough money to go about. So the best thing that you can do is that start small. Okay. If 20 kwacha per week works for you, do it. So you can actually save with the 20 kwacha? Yes, it's starting small. The small amounts will amount to something big. Okay. Yeah. Math is not my strongest. So I was going to give an example, but the small amounts that you use, the small amounts that you save up become a big amount one way or another. Yeah. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to save for a whole year. Let's say you're in January, right? And you say, I'm going to save the whole year from this 1st January to the last day of December, right? And every week I'm going to remove 20 kwacha or 10 kwacha. If you look back, when you're in December and you look back at January, you won't have the same 10 kwacha. You will have something, and you put that money towards something, right? Yeah. So the importance is not how much you save. It's how the consistency of you saving that money. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's the goal that you have. So even if you save 10 kwacha and your goal is to have 5,000 kwacha at some point, that 10 kwacha is still going to mount up to 5,000 at some point. So even if you and your partner are getting 500 and your partner is getting 1,000, if you tell your partner, say, okay, every month let's save 50. You say you remove 50 kwacha, I remove 50 kwacha. It's going to mount up to something one day. So people who have the narrative of saying you can only save when you have large amounts, if you can't save when you have small amounts, you won't be able to save when you have large amounts too. All right, so that was a good one, right? So my question that has been popping in my head is it okay for partners to tell each other how much they get or how much they earn?
Okay, that's a very good question. It's just that it's a very different situation if you're dating and if you're courting and if you're married. If you're courting going into marriage, it's quite important for you to know how much your partner is making, because then if you don't know how much your partner is making, you do have situations that you have to know where you're staying, you know what I mean? So the money that you're making, you need to know how you're going to blend that money and how that money is going to work for you. Yeah. You understand? So yes, if you're courting into marriage, yes, definitely. But if you're just dating, I think it's not much of a big deal for you to know how much your partner is making, because at that moment, unless at that moment I don't think it's as necessary. Important. I don't think it's necessary as in number one fact, as long as they're making you.
Because I feel, like even when you're married or you're dating into marriage, I feel there are certain people that feel they just feel I can't tell my partner how much I make for some reasons. Some, like we talked about, an impulse buyer and a saver. So there's certain people that feel they love to, it's a personal thing, like, my savings, despite the fact that I'm going to get married or I'm married to this person, I have my own personal goals and everything. So I have seen certain people where they haven't told their partner how much they make, but they've gone close to how much they make. The reason why they don't want to tell their partners because, there's certain people are insecure. They just feel like, you never know where these things go to. So I might just as well keep this side of my life and just protect my finances, like without my partner knowing. But which I feel like it's a little bit off. Like, have you mentioned, like, it's important to know how much because of planning and marriage, but there's certain people that I feel they just feel,
it's not important.
It's not important. Like, just know I'm taking care of you. That's all you need to know. Like, as a man, like, especially men out there, I feel like there are few men out there that really tell their spouses like how much they get. They'll just be like, you need money for hair.
Closest decimal. This is how much.
Like, you need money for hair. Here's money for hair. You need food. Like, I'm there to protect you financially, so there's no need for you to start asking me to say, babe, how much do you make? Even for a woman, I feel like there are certain guys that don't really like take time to even care or ask, say, how much does my girlfriend, as long as you're out there looking good, you're taking care of yourself, you're working, you are being independent and having your way. There's some people who are like, that your money
is your money.
Is your money.
Okay, so I would look at it from different angles. So if you're dating, if you're married, or like what we're talking about, you need to, it goes more than just doing hair and the basics providing. You're looking at things like investing as a couple and things like that. So if you know how much you're making, you know how much we're willing to invest in something. Okay. So if you're going to start up a business, how can you start up a business if you don't know how much? It's not how can you need to be able to know how much both of you are able. So let's say if you are both putting money in a business, okay? You can't say, okay, let's invest in something that's 100,000 and your partner makes 4,000 kwacha. Unrealistic, right? So the best thing that you can do as a couple is open up about how much you're making. That way, whatever you're planning for can, be fruitful, okay? So that when you know how much you guys are making, you can understand each other better. It also makes it easier for if your partner is demanding for something. They're able to know, okay, what I'm demanding for can't, I have to.
It can't exceed that level because my partner gets this much.
Exactly. So being secretive about how much you make only makes things a bit complicated for people. I mean, don't complicate your life. Make it as easy as possible by being open to each other about these things.
So on top of that, I feel I've heard a lot of people mention to say they're scared, not because they're trying to be secretive about how much they earn, but they're just scared to say, look, as a man, if I tell my woman, this is how much I get, they might just start demanding a lot of things because now you have that idea to say, oh, my partner actually earns 15,000. So if you're going to ask for certain things, you're like, it's within the budget. It's within the, you know. So such men, I feel they will just be like, just know I'm taking care of you. So how do you like advise such people? Like there are people who are just holding on to because they're avoiding their partners from demanding a lot from them.
It goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. Sit down with your partner. If you know your partner is an impulsive buyer and overspender and things like that, sit down and make sure that you explain to each other, okay, this is how much we make and this is how much we can spend. That way that whatever they are asking for, it's okay if you say, oh, my husband can buy me this or my partner can buy me this, but when are they able to, to buy these things for you or buy it for the next? What I mean, all I'm trying to say is that sit down with your partner. I mean, if you teach people something, if you teach a person or your partner financial literacy or financial management, they'll appreciate the fact that at least you tried. Okay. So at least if you tell them, I can't get this for you because I'm saving up for this, they'll understand. Rather than you being secretive and say, okay, no, I can't buy you this. Why? Why are you not buying it? Because you know how women are. Why aren't you buying me this? But if they know and they understand, okay, this is how much he makes, and from what he's making, this money is going this side, or this is still be able to understand.
But is it also important for us women, for us to let our partners know how much we earn?
Yes. All this letting each other know how much you're making is not only on the man's side. Even us as women need to put it out there and say, okay, this is how much I make. Even if you make 500.
But there are void situations where if I tell my partner how much I get, so men will always have it in their head to say, look, my girlfriend gets this much. So if she comes around and says, babe, I need such a thing or I need such, women avoid those questions like, but you work, you have this amount, you actually earn this, that, so you can afford. Why are you coming to me to ask for those things?
Be able to talk about it. That's all I can say. Just be able to talk about these things. It's very necessary for people to be open. And I don't know why we have the culture where Black people don't like talking about finances.
Yeah.
You need to be freely talking about these things.
Let's pack my money in my bag.
Yeah, it's like my money is my money, your money is for. No, we need to be able to freely talk about these things, because when we don't go to the root cause of these things, we end up having problems like, oh, why can't you afford to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to be able to talk about these things.
So speaking about having to tell each other about how much we get paid, right? So there are instances where a woman earns a lot compared to the husband or to your partner if you're dating, if you're courting. So coming to my question is, can we say that because a woman earns more than the man? No, I don't want to ask it that way. I wanted to ask it in this way. In a relationship, whoever that is earning more money, would we say that's the person that is supposed to manage the monies that come in the relationship or between both of you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Only because just because you make more money doesn't mean you are more financially
literate about it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But financial literacy doesn't come from how much you earn. It comes from how much you have invested in learning these things. Okay. So maybe you might make 500 kwacha, and I make 10,000 kwacha, but that 10,000 kwacha can finish within few minutes of me getting it, and you can budget and put the 500 kwacha to work. You know what I mean? So you making more money doesn't mean you should be, let me use the term, the head. The head of the house. No. It's you make more money, the other person makes less. Okay, let's sit down. How then can we move forward? This comes back to what we're saying. We have an account where we put money for the necessary things in one account, then the rest goes into your personal account.
So your point is, whoever is making more money doesn't matter, but what matters is the person that is literate about finances. Yes,
and so you are able to go about the finances wisely.
Okay.
Because just because you're making more money doesn't mean you can use that money wisely. So there are people who make more money and know how to use the money, and the people who make more money and they're buying the next handbag, you're buying the next car. You know what I mean? And you one minute you have 10,000, next minute you have made with 100 kwacha in your account. Okay. And there are people who can have 1,000 kwacha but still utilize it and do the right thing with it. Okay, so the person who is more financially literate should be able to kind of like manage it. Not manage, I don't want to use manage it because it's like it's my money, why is he managing it? But kind of help the situation, help you understand what you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, so now I'm trying to merge or marry the fact that there are people that are married, courting, and those that are dating. So the situation can be different for them. So talking about how one person in a relationship who is more financial, literate can be able to help to manage. What about those that are dating? Because I can just be there to say, look, in as much as I don't have knowledge about this finances thing, it's my money. Like, I know how to spend it and everything. And then you who is out there having full knowledge, they are wanting to teach me how to spend my money. Because there are people like that. So how are you able to advise somebody out there that the other partner is literate about finances and we're just dating? So should you come around and start telling me to say, 1 + 1 is B, 2 + 2 is B? How should I go about it?
Allow people to take courses. Now we have free courses online where people can take financial courses and just, at least have prima facie, which is surface level information about finances. Okay, so people, the topic of money is a bit touchy, especially if you make less money than the person that you're trying to advise. It's like, why are you advising me?
Exactly.
I make more money than you. You know what I mean? So just try and push them to learn more about finances. So don't tell them, it also depends on the type of relationship you have. If the person is very open to learning, you can easily tell them. But if you see that they're a bit rigid when it comes to learning stuff, so when it comes to do with money, you can refer them to learning a few courses online. Like take a course, Coursera online offers financial literacy courses, and allow them to learn from there. So that way, the next time you're opening up that discussion, is what you learned from Coursera, how are you applying that to your day-to-day lives, to your money and everything else, and then see where their mind is at. Really, you have to always find a way to tackle these things about money, rather than just, because if you just leave people there and if you're seeing a future with that person, it's going to get back to you as a person, especially if you're married to that person. Because if they're not financially if you don't know how to manage the finances, it's going to drain you as a partner.
Yeah.
Because then you won't be able to move forward in certain things.
So now coming back to the question that just popped up is that there's always that thing of, you know, the head of the house, right? Yeah. And of course, looking back to the Bible, the scriptures that talk about how a man is a provider. But in today's world, we are seeing a different view. Like today, even women are coming out to say, look, I can be the head of the house as long as I'm able to do what you can do. I can even do it 10 times better than you can do it. So I'm the head of the house. So coming back to money, right? There's situations or instances where wives are making more money than their husbands, or those who are dating partners women are making more money than their husbands. So would we say they have the right to take the shots?
No, they can't be the head of the house. I'm a Christian, so
you just have to put it that way.
Yeah. So like being the head of a house biblically is different. It's way more than providing. It's protecting and everything else. So if we can define what the head of the house is, then you understand it's not all about money. Okay, because when it comes to protecting, and as a woman, if thief comes in the house, you'll be the first one to run upstairs. That's what I mean. Yeah, so it's more than money. Yes, providing is one of the major basis of being the head of the house. But if you look past it, because again, I think such type of thinking is more backwards. We're living in a world where women are doing the most. Yeah. So just because you're doing the most, just because you're making more money, doesn't mean your husband is less of a person or less of a man. Yeah. Okay. So just take it as you're fortunate. You're fortunate enough to make. Or if you're doing well more than your husband, great for you. You go, girl. But when you go back to your home, you are a wife. You are his helper. Your account is not speaking for you. Your account is not speaking for you. Your account is not speaking for you. When you step through your door, you are a wife. You are a helper. So don't try to take away the title. Yes, just leave it to. If we put money to titles or like things like head of the house, then we're going to have a problem. Especially if our upcoming generation where women are doing the most. If we try to say, oh no, because I'm making more money, I'm the head of the house, we are taking away what being the head of the house means, which is way past it's more than making money. Okay. So if you're making more money, great, but are you the head of the house? No, you're not. You're still a helper. You are still a wife. And I'm not saying this from being backward thinking but it is just what it is.
This one is a question that I feel I'm asking for all the gentlemen out there, because I've been hearing this, I've been seeing this on social media, men asking to say, is there such a thing as dating within your budget? Is there such a thing?
I personally feel like
such a thing. I feel like for me, it's I'm having mixed feelings about it.
I feel like if you date within your budget, dating within your budget doesn't mean. No. Okay, practical examples again. Let's say you make 1,000 kwacha, right? Yeah. It's like you're going to stay in a house that is 4,500. I'm still going to see 4,500 kwacha, and you make 1,000 kwacha. It's going to you're going to be going over budget all the time because of that, right? But if you date somebody within your budget, unless there are situations where you date a person who makes more money than you and they're okay with it, that's too fine. But if you see that the person that you're dating is not okay with it, don't go there. It's just going to push you to do. You find yourself in situations where you can't even invest, you can't even save, because every little penny that you're getting is going towards trying to keep up with the life of that person. Okay.
Yeah, I get it.
So date within your budget. Unless the person that you're dating is okay with what you make, it's okay with not getting anything, or they're okay with the small things
that you be providing.
Yes, there are people who are okay with the small things that the men in their lives are providing. Yeah, right.
Despite them having a lot.
Yeah, despite them having a lot. And then there are those women who you have to buy me my hair. You have to buy me this.
Despite her knowing that his salary is
4,000 kwacha.
That's 5 earnings every month.
So if you find yourself dating a person like that, please, by all means, run away. And because within your budget.
Because there are those people that say, look, in as much as I don't have enough money, right? But then I like this person, and I know that no condition is permanent. I might just elevate to another level by God's grace with time. So does that make me not eligible to ask out this woman?
It goes back to what we were saying. So if you sit down with the person and you see the person is willing to to help you or push you through that situation where they can see that, okay, this person, this is just his situation for now. He's going to be a great person, or there's something in him, and she's doing way more than you, getting way more than you, and she's still finding that. That's great.
Okay.
Don't be with a person who can't see that. You know, if you're with a person who can't see the greatness in you at the moment, they won't be able to appreciate the things that you do.
Sure.
But they will try to pull you down. Even that small energy that you have, they will drain it, because now you end up, you know, trying to live up to that person's expectation.
Yeah.
Yes. Unless you're with a person who can see that, they can see that, okay, it's just a situation for now, but this person is going somewhere, then please go ahead. But if that person is going to pull you down, just leave it there.
Just stay away.
Just stay away.
All right. So that was the topic about money, and as we mentioned, you know, money is a very broad conversation. There's so much that we can talk about, but today we just felt it's important to highlight the most important things that people out there fear to talk about. Things like, I don't have to tell my partner how much I make. Things like, okay, because the woman earns more money, then I'm the head, she's the head, or vice versa. But of course, as a man, we're not even, it's not even a debate. They are the head of the family. But most importantly, we just want to highlight to say budgeting is very important, not only for as a relationship, but individually.
Yes.
Because as you mentioned, I think you mentioned before, to say it has to start with you. Before you enter a relationship and start talking about budgeting or planning with your partner, it has to start with you. Like, how have you been doing it? How do you budget? It makes it easy for you to be able to move along with your partner in situations concerning money. So I hope, like, and do you have any advice for, you know, when it comes to literacy and money to individuals, and even just as a whole, as a couple?
Okay, learn about financial literacy as much as you can. It's an investment. Okay, so if you don't know how to manage your finances, money is just going to be money to you. But allow money to work for you. Reach a point in life where no matter what you're doing, you can be in a different country, but the money is working for you. That way, it's not just money, it's money. Okay, allow yourself to invest in things that teach you to grow your money. Invest, save. Don't tell yourself, I can't save a 10 kwacha. Save that 10 kwacha. That 10 kwacha is going to be 1,000. That 10 kwacha is going to be 5,000. Save that money. So don't save beyond your budget. Okay, that's another thing.
And I think I have to do that.
Don't say you get 500 kwacha and say no, I want to save 250. No. If you get 500 kwacha, even that 50 kwacha is good. Make sure that what's important is you're saving consistently. Okay, so even if you say you're getting 500 kwacha and you can move 50 kwacha every month, that is good. Not 250 this month, 10 kwacha next month. Yes, but choose an amount that is okay for you. That's within your salary, within whatever you make as a business person. And use that amount. Save it consistently. If you have more, great.
Well and good.
But tell yourself, if 50 kwacha is the minimum, 50 kwacha is the minimum. Okay? Yes. So save as much as you can. It's important for you. You're building your future. Use that money not to buy a handbag. Use that money not to buy a pair of shoes. But pick something that you can save in, and think that whatever you're going to invest, what you can invest in, whatever you're going to invest in, let it bring money to you.
Thank you so much, Faith, for joining me. This was a very amazing conversation, and I know there is more. And so, of course, we'll have another episode where you just shed more light on, you know, finances and everything, because I believe, because you're in that area, you have a lot of wisdom concerning that. So we hope to have you in the next episode.
Sure, I'll be so happy to hear.
And for, you know, our viewers, thank you so much for joining me. For the love and support, thank you so much for subscribing. And to those that haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, and don't forget to share the video that we can grow the family. It was your girl, Natasha Cable, and my beautiful lady, Faith. So till next time, it's bye from us.
Bye.